Damn it. So this is going to be a mildly over-explained run, more like a very explained run, I guess you could say. We're going to use Aspect of Moros because this is part 2 of the most OP builds in Hades 2. Aspect of Moros, I think, is the choice here, but it is very close. I do think all 3 of these aspects are pretty even and very special in their own way. It was kind of a long debate as to what to choose here. I think Moros probably has the higher top end for possible damage output. The blast damage from destroying those attacks, those ghostly attacks with your special, just deals a lot of damage very quickly. It's very strong. There's definitely a certain sequence to play the game, and we'll showcase that. But, like, honestly, just spamming the Omega Special aspect of Mel is really, really good, too. Spamming a lot of the attack with aspect of Eos, that Daybreaker blast damage is quite good, too. It was a tough choice. I think it was actually a tough choice, but I think Moros is the take. So when you enter a room with this aspect, I think the way to play it is you basically hold down, you do an Omega Special, and then you hold down your attack button until that Omega Special wears off. And you kind of want to stay at this particular distance where the Omega Special keeps hitting whatever enemy or enemies you're trying to hit, essentially. And it's very, very good. It's very, very good. It's a very strong aspect, for sure. And since this aspect is so strong and it works with so many things, we had to talk about what boons to aim for here. And it seems like a good opportunity to showcase a cool duo boon slash setup, I guess, that involves Hestia and Demeter and getting their duo boon called Freezer Burn, which we'll go over in a second. Now, is this the most overpowered you can get with the aspect? It's kind of hard to say. Part of the problem is the fact that Golden Rule is just incredibly strong right now. So pretty much every run, besides maybe like an Axe run, would technically feature Golden Rule, but I don't know how fun that is to constantly go for the same thing over and over. There's a lot of different things that could work here, and I don't know if you can totally mess up this aspect is the truth, you know? I think you can put, as long as you get origination and you take, you know, decent quality boons, I guess, and you think about it, it's kind of hard to mess up, you know, what you put on the attack and special. It all works really, really well. Anyway, here's our kind of setup. Of course, we have origination on. We got divinity from activating this column in particular. You do want the Huntress with this. That's probably the only call out here, because that blast damage from when you destroy your attacks counts as regular attack damage, not Omega attack damage. So the Huntress is going to do a lot of work for us here. Of course, we want the Sorceress on. Would have been nice to have Death on, maybe, but whatever. What can you do? Or the Queen on, since we're going for a specific duo boon. Since we want Hestia, we're going to put her on the attack, we think. Then we're going to go for Demeter's cast, maybe? I'm kind of thinking. So we're going to start with Hestia on the attack. And in case you don't know what Freezer Burn is, where is she? Whenever you inflict freeze on a foe with Scorch, deal damage and remove the Scorch. Damage from Scorch, 200%, so it triples your Scorch. Whatever Scorch you have on the enemy, and deals that as a big chunk of damage. Whenever you apply freeze. Now, you don't have to specifically build up, like, a certain amount of Scorch and then specifically time your freeze for, like, the moment when you get a certain amount. No. Don't think that hard about it. Just keep doing it over and over again. Keep doing it over and over again. Is it 200% or plus 200%? I don't know. It's either double or triple. It's one of those two things. Since we're just kind of explaining the run and talking about it, we're going to do 0 fear and just kind of showcasing it. Was that the new version of the mirror? It is. What hammers do we want? It's kind of a good question. Uh-oh. That's fine. You just take it. It's kind of a good question. There's a lot. Clean Helix is really good for faster Omega special channeling. Clean Candle for faster Omega attack channeling. Most of them work. There's a couple of ones, I think you want to stay away from. It's like Origin Coil. That's bad. And the Inverted Spark, I would call that really bad. Everything else is kind of fine, I think. But yeah, Omega special. Blow them up. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know if there's really anything else to discuss. Of course, we're going to need some magic regen. I don't think you got to be super picky about it. Scalding Vapor is a boon that people like a lot, but we kind of got punished for going for too many things at once in the previous run, so I don't know if it's wise. Fluid Gain, which is the magic regen from Poseidon. Sorry, I don't need to pause here. Fluid Gain's okay, not amazing. I don't want his dash. I don't want his cast. The special is okay, and we could eventually go for Scalding Vapor, but I don't think we want to here. Hydraulic Might would also be okay. I think I would rather keep what we call the boon pool low in order to make sure we actually get the duo that we really want. Or it's not really the boon pool, but if we take Poseidon Special, then the game, depending on what other things we take, there might be multiple duos that the game can offer us. We might not get the duo that we actually want first, or possibly ever, which is kind of what happened with the Golden Rule a little bit, if I remember right.
What do we have in here?
Okay. Nothing in here that we really care about. We're just going to take the Palm. Seleni's fine here, but we'll kind of go for a big Scorch a little bit. Freeze and a 2+ burn? You mean take 2 sources of burn damage? Yeah, you could consider that. You could get more Hestia either on the special or on the cast. And then it still gets doubled again. You gotta run Ruin by Origin Helix. It's really bad, right? There we go. We got more Scorch per attack. We want to see if we can get Demeter here. So these are mini-boss doors, which means that it's guaranteed to be a boon. There's already 2 different gods here. We only have 1 god on us, and that's Hestia. Would like to try to get Demeter. I think you can roll again. Okay, we did not get Demeter, so I think we just keep piling on Hestia. There's some follow-up boons that are okay. So even this mini-boss, even with as few things as we have, this mini-boss goes down pretty fast, right? Surprisingly. Crispy coating, I'm not a big fan of it. Controlled burn is okay, but it does cost you a lot of magic. There's better things. There's like Pyrotechnique, which doesn't really synergize with Freezer Burn. We did get the special. Oh. Pyrotechnique's fun. It's not as good as Freezer Burn, though. So it doesn't work with Freezer Burn, per se. So we could fill another slot. And then we have to get Demeter's cast in order to get the Duo Boon offered then. Hearthgane... It's not that good here. I don't think. Might be technically usable. More. It might be okay. Yeah, it's only okay, though. You could probably hold out and find better. Is what I'm thinking. This might be, like, a little greedy, as we say. Look at all these cool flames, though. Because we took something that is not that great right now, hoping to get better things in the future. This is an investment in our future. And like with any roguelike, you kind of got to find the right balance for that, right? The things that are good right now versus the things that will help you more later. So that's the mid shop. So we're going to go that way so we can get more boons. Is it better than Born Gain? Oh, no. Definitely not. Definitely not. Born Gain is definitely just better on average. It's also, what is it? Hearthgane, you only get that magic back from your regular attack and special, not your Omegas. I kind of want to look at their duo boons here. What's the Hera Hestia duo? Oh, it's this thing? Yeah, so this is a problem, right? Hera? Because if we buy this Hera, it opens up the duo most likely. But I guess we should probably do it. Because we need magic. Damn, that flame strike. Yeah, you kind of got to take it. We're going to need that magic. Yeah, we'll take Chaos. The other rewards are certainly not astounding, right? I think when... We said it in the other video, but when Born Gain got nerfed, we all said, like, oh, it sucks now, basically. It got nerfed really hard. But then once we actually played with it for a while, it's like, oh yeah, it's still really good. Probably the best one. We probably don't need that max magic at all. So what do we want here? Attack damage would be nice. Faster channel speed would be nice. I guess max health is nice, but probably not necessary, at least for us. You could probably take that as long as you are very careful. This is a very easy curse in my mind, but I'm also kind of used to playing that way. All right? I'm willing to throw out one roll. special damage. That's a lot, too. It's kind of fun. Why do I consider the special damage fun? I don't know. We'll be fine, right? Just don't get hit. I think that curse actually kind of sucks. That curse is pretty painful, right? But without any fear on, I don't think it'll be a problem. There's this really rare curse from Chaos that disables all your Arcana cards if you haven't seen it. But it's for like a crazy amount of encounters, right? Aphrodite is not who we want. So you can buy another Chaos Gate. It does trade out. So we're on location 10. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to location count here. Location 10, we have one more location before Hecate, basically. And we see Arachne on the right door, so we're going to go to Arachne. So if we buy the Spark of Ixion, the Chaos Gate will spawn in Arachne's chamber, which will actually cause us to get an extra chamber, essentially. It's not a bad thing. It's probably not even really worth thinking about. But more chaos could equal more good. It's not a bad way to spend your money. If we see Demeter on the door here, we might just go for that, honestly, rather than taking Chaos, because that would probably be more important. Best thing Chaos could give us is probably channel speed. We don't need the magic. Fabric doesn't do anything. So I guess we're taking the Emerald Dress. Yeah. So we're still going to get the shop offered after this. 8 encounters. I think I've seen it as many as like 11 encounters. Baron or whatever it's called. Shows how OP Board Game was. Got nerfed. Yeah, it was like plus 10 magic for every single rarity. God, that's painful though, isn't it? Is it? Pretty bad. But it's so much more speed. 5 encounters. I use like a couple Omegas per encounter on average. You shouldn't do it, really. You really shouldn't. Enshroud isn't bad. It's not, but I wouldn't call it very useful either. I don't really like the favor that much. I mean, I'd probably just rather take Papa's Blood or something like that. Take it. Chat, you always just want me to take the dangerous things. That's all you ever want. Anything I complain about, do it. Do it. Do it.
I see you.
Do it. Roll it? I don't know if it's worth rolling over. So Zeus is not Demeter. In case you didn't know. If Hestia or Hera were here again, we would buy them, I think. Selene isn't that horrible here. We do spend a lot of magic per encounter. I give and I give and I get. It's so true, isn't it?
Please make your choice.
Lunar Ray is good if you get to the end of the Path of Stars. Otherwise, it's pretty much complete trash, I feel. Because it's usually a DPS loss to sit there and fire your beam at enemies. I'm a bigger fan of Total Eclipse because you can just drop it and run. Hey. Zeus and Demeter in the same place? Are we trying to say that they could be the same person? Gasp. Yeah. Do. Sus. Do a regular special or something there? All right. We have Foregone. I'm just going to use my regular attack while we have this Chaos Curse on the witches here to finish them. Oh, come on. So she's usually the one that's furthest away. Oh, come on. But in this case, she happened to be more so the one that was behind us, which is another possibility. Look at how high the Scorch is already getting, right? Come on, die. Interestingly, Chaos Curses eat your armor. You'd almost think that they wouldn't, and it would go straight to your health. Because a Chaos Gate, if you take a Chaos Gate, it doesn't go through armor. Oh, I just realized the other Chaos Curse we have that stuns us has an anti-synergy. Did you notice that? It stuns us for a half second when I use the special.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. So we're kind of in an annoying place
Some coins.
with all these Chaos Curses and everything, right? But don't worry, things will get better. Things will get better. So we need Demeter, obviously. Not really interested in an Archaic Seal. It's just too expensive most of the time. We don't really need the Hydrolytes. We're going to wait.
Down I go.
We're going to wait. It's going to be worth it. Trust. Never trust Twitch chat. Never trust. So you are incentivized if you have a maxed out save file, which I know is probably not the case for most people watching, right? You are incentivized, though, to do the farming because you could get an element from it. Now, if you're wondering, like, is this any good if you only have, if you like just unlock the aspect, it's still like level 1 or 2 or something like that? Yeah, it's still gonna be, I mean, it's probably not gonna look as juicy, right? But I stand by the reasoning, I think. We probably don't need the max magic here, do we, with Born Gain? So I guess we're just gonna take max health. I can't really accommodate for every possible like position that a save file could have, but I think this one was still gonna be good for you. So Narcissus could give us a random palm, could give us money. It's free, right? Whereas the chamber cost, I mean the shop costs things, right? Narcissus only has 1 exit. Shop should have 2. I think that's honestly enough to make me go to the shop, because Demeter could be there, Hera could be there, Hestia could be there. I do not want Poseidon. Not yet, at least. So we're going to hold out there. Do I want to buy a palm? Not really. I don't think so. We got rid of 1 Chaos Curse. Each time you use specials, get hit for 6 health, is what it says.
Down we go.
Are you supposed to like taking Hera on your main attack or special on a weapon? It's pretty good. It does feel a little... It probably feels a little underwhelming compared to like Aphrodite, who just has a strictly higher percentage all the time. And you might not always feel the hitch effect as much as something like Freeze. Freeze is a very powerful effect. Oh, so we have to get the cast here, not Gale Force, though, in order to get the Duo Boon. There we go. Hitch is a powerful effect, but her percentage is kind of just average. God, more chaos. Where are the dude? Oh, hello. Do we want 25 max health for $123? Nah. All right, we got to pause here as we do this. So we got a trial behind my head that you can't see. It's Demeter and Hera. You cannot get Duo Boons from trials. But do we really want... another chaos here? It's pretty spicy. There's also the fact that if I take chaos, we're not going to activate this last curse for a while. I'm not a fan of trials. You probably notice that I avoid them, honestly. We could fill in our dash with either one of theirs. I think I'm okay with going this way in this instance. I kind of don't feel like dealing with another... I think I'd rather have Hera's burden or whatever. I don't feel like dealing with another chaos curse right now. For another who knows how many chambers, right? Weed Killer would be pretty bad here. It's not good, I think. I mean, the damage is nice, but the magic drain is crazy. Right now, our magic drain's at 3 per Omega. So it would go to 13. It's wild. It's too much. I think we can fill in the Cyclone. I might want to think about the other duos that are possible here, though. Because isn't there like a weird Cyclone one? Boreal Gust requires Apollo. Okay, so we don't got to worry about it. So let's just fill in the cast.
Desolation.
Like trials are terrible for speed. You would avoid them in a speed run. But I'll admit, even in like a regular run, I tend to avoid them. And maybe it's not for good reasons. You know? I'm not sure. Still have this Chaos Curse. I would avoid them at higher fear runs where the deadline could be a problem too. We kind of talked a little bit about it earlier. It's not just the fact that the enemies spawn more slowly and the fact that you probably lose a lot of health on the average trial, right? It can't be other types of chambers if you take a trial. It's impossible to have a trial as a fountain room, or as a nemesis room, or as one of those egg rooms where you can get the reward more quickly. So you're crossing those off the list. Bloodline, yeah, that's another problematic one for us. So these aren't good. Family trade, it's not a useful boon here. Bridal glow, these are all really bad.
Why not?
Yeah, we'll accept nasty comeback now. Kinda need that health, right? Don't need that special damage. Hermes sounds good. Let's head this way. Our trial's just 2 free boons instead of 1. I mean, nothing's free, right? Because now the god that you spur is going to start attacking you. You're going to lose more average. More health on average in a trial room. So they're more dangerous. How important is that extra boon going to be to you? How necessary is it for what you're doing? It might be necessary. It might be wise. Midnight Oil. Total Eclipse, huh? Weapon speed is really good here. It makes us channel our Omegas faster. Should trials pause the timer? No, I don't think so. I think trials are actually in an interesting place right now. Because, yeah, sure, they're not really taken in speed runs, but even for me, when I do a casual run, I have to think pretty hard if I want to take a trial or not. So I think the fact that it's hard to make that decision and it requires a lot of thought, I think that's a good sign, personally. It's not just always do X or always do Y. It's like sometimes this, sometimes that. I guess we're going to take the hammer, but it does mean we're not going to get... Sorry, I keep pausing. We're not going to get the duo boon yet, of course. Let's see, what do we got here? So for hammers, I think the best ones are either Clean Helix or Clean Candle to channel those Omegas faster, I think. These ones are fine. While you channel your attacks, you move and fire faster. I think I would rather take Mega Spark, mostly for the attack damage, I think? I'm actually not sure here. They're both fine. These aren't amazing. They're whatever, I'd say. I'm not sure. Let's try the same Spark a little bit. Moving faster is kind of convenient, right? I think the clean ones are really good. I think Triple Helix is pretty good. There's another attack one, the leaden one that increases your power. That's okay. You think I could do a no-hit run? Many people have already done it already, actually, for the game. I have not tried it yet. Probably someday we'll take a stab at it. Woo! Not bad, right? Not bad. Oh, the drummer wasn't dead, I just realized. Not bad, right? Not bad, right? Considering, like, we don't really have the thing that we aimed for, and we have what would probably be described as a subpar attack and special, while we don't have the duo boon. It's pretty good. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. We just want more Hestian Demeter. We cannot force that to happen. Magic's not a concern, so the Chaos Egg is less good. Hammer isn't bad. A bad option here, I think. Just again, an extra one. Evil Eye is set to Chronos. Not certain I'm really interested in that. Metallic Droplet is pretty good here to channel faster. More than anything. Blackened Fleece is actually online, but that's not that good for us here when Scorch is probably going to start doing a lot of damage. I think we will do Hammer. Rising Coil is mediocre. Your specials grow in size and deal up to plus 25% damage the longer they're active. That's not great. Not the worst, not the best. I think we can go.
Time to drop
Go!
off.
Blindfolded run when? I don't know. Maybe someday, but it's this zone. Like, the hardest part of the blindfolded run, by far, like, it's not the combat. It's just getting from point A to point B every single chamber. So, yeah, it's not, it's kind of, it's certainly not impossible. But I'm not certain it sounds like a lot of fun when that was already the most frustrating part in Hades 1. Okay, activate Omega Special, drop the cast. I think the freeze effect is really strong, and that Demeter is probably weighted correctly in that sense that she has a pretty low percentage when it comes to the attacker special. Her cast is really good, though. Here's our third hammer, chat. So Origin's bad, Inverted's bad, Triple Helix
One left.
is it. That is the one. Blindfold and the Chronos instant kill. Yeah, that would be tough. I'm not certain if there's really any cues for that. Like, you probably could not really figure that out. But you could probably get through that if you managed to have a strong enough build.
Pure gold.
And you just have a few Death Defiances. I think you could get through that. I don't think that's the biggest issue. We have Hestia on the door, so now we just need to get that duo boon, right? It's guaranteed, right? Hello?
Enough of that. Mine now.
Okay, let's go.
Your magic against mine.
Freezer! God, that freeze is just so nice. Say goodbye. Here we go. Guaranteed to be freezer burn, right? I did the little dance for you. Ah! Oh no. Oh no.
The fates won't mind.
Oh no. I have 3 rolls left. Oh no. Yeah, this is what you worry about when you fill other slots with other gods. I mean, we just kind of had to wait a while. Oh no, is this going to be another run? All right, Echo will fix it, right? I mean, the infusion thing is good. It's not as important, though. So now we have plus 45 health from Water Fitness, 6% dodge, 15% attack and special damage, and self-healing. Everything's on, right? Yes. It's certainly not bad here. I do think Freezer Burn would be much more important, though. All right, Boon of Hestia, guaranteed.
Please
Guaranteed.
don't give in.
This time. Don't punish us. Last roll. I have nothing to fill, please. Ah, hey! Thank God. Can't have another run where we don't get the thing I say we're gonna get early on. I do think it's been a little bit unlucky. But you saw that the run was still going pretty smoothly, despite it. Okay, so now you get to see big freezer burn things. So we'll go for palms. It's palm like the Scorch or something. You know, something like that.
Flourish and reveal my path.
Run where you have to fight with lag. Like watching your own stream would be funny and interesting. Huh? Fight with lag, huh? So now whenever we apply freeze, it multiplies the Scorch that is already on them. And it's okay if freeze is on cooldown. It's whenever you attempt to apply the freeze. So we want to just inflict more Scorch here then. Fight the lag. So I'd have to watch the game via my own stream. That sounds impossible. Because it's like a solid 10-second delay, right? It does sound kind of funny, I'll admit, though. I'll admit it sounds funny. Anytime you get to see me struggle.
Kronos so loves his gold.
I don't know if it's going to be very sensical to watch, though. Like, are you really going to be able to figure out what the hell's going on? Yum, 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 yum. Drop it! So hitting for like 500 on occasion there. Because of the freezer burn. Because of freezer burn, Scorch is going to pop here. Unless, is freezer burn separate? I'm not sure. When it's not ready, deal 5% more damage. So this is for Total Eclipse, which I think is one of the better hexes. I'm impervious until the blast, which is honestly quite nice. While it's not ready, I'll take the damage for it, though, after that. I don't think it's a very meaningful choice either way. Not much to really think about there. Heffy, huh? Heffy has some really great defensive boons if I haven't already spoken out about it. There's a few things that I think could help us apply more Scorch. No? Actually, maybe there's not. Watch my own stream. I don't know. Highly flammable since it boosts initial Scorch damage. I gotta remember what that is. Anvil Ring. No. We cannot do that. Trusty Shield is a really nice boon. There's a big trade-off for it. But I think it makes a lot of sense. No way I lived through the delay? I don't know. I can't really tell. So what audio would I hear? Would I hear the real audio or the stream audio? Well, I don't know if I could do the stream audio realistically. Come on, cast the Omega Special. It's a little delayed there. All right, get out a couple of Omega Specials, but you really kind of just want to do one at a time usually. Drop the Eclipse. Watching for when the Omega Special wears off. Okay. There is something a little funky that kind of happens. Whew. When trying to use an Omega. If you do like too many inputs or something like that. No audio? Oh, sweet Jesus. It'd be echoey nightmare. I'd have to like turn off my voice or something. I don't know how we'd make that work. No, I can make it so that you... Only I hear the game, I think. Can I do that? No. Like, I don't know. Too advanced for me. Highly flammable. Do I remember highly flammable? This is probably the most fun you can have with Scorch. It's just a lot of damage. You don't gotta think that hard about it. Oh, right. Okay. So that's probably the best we could do to get more boons here. Python scales. I don't usually buy this stuff, honestly. So now the hammer's used up. Honestly, channel speed via the metallic droplet, I like. The timer on it, you might not like. Some people like Evil Eye. Not a huge fan of Evil Eye. I don't know, chat. I'm going to call out some people. Because some people say Evil Eye helped them beat Chronos. But I can't help but imagine, but wouldn't Engraved Pin or Luckier Tooth help you in the same fashion? Was it Evil Eye that carried you to the win, or was it just your build already? And any three of those keepsakes I just mentioned probably would have led to the same outcome. You know? You need Evil Eye to beat Chronos, rethink your build. I think that, like, when you're new to the game, it might seem like that was the winning factor, but the truth is it was probably your choices, I think. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I feel like walking through Tartarus, it feels like it's not like a safe place. I get hit a lot from the dudes in Tartarus. So that's why I'm kind of surprised when people don't really consider it. Because when you take Evil Eye, right? It's not going to do anything for the whole zone. But hey, if it works for you. If it works, chat. We'll see, Daddy. Sometimes the end up with build does a bunch of AoE damage or really struggles against single target. 30% could help. I guess that, like, I don't know. But again, like, I don't know if that 30% is going to be what nets you the win. Chronos is the great barrier, I will say. To probably not... Once you start seeing Chronos, like, reaching Chronos, he is the barrier to winning. So it's really just about how do you do better against him. But I guess I'm always a bigger fan of the defensive keepsakes when it comes to that. This isn't a very important choice, honestly. You could go with any of them. I kind of like life tax, if anything. Such a hard boss. I wouldn't be surprised if gets tuned a bit. It's not like he's too hard, he needs to change right now, but they did make the game, I guess I would describe it as quite a bit easier with the buffing of a lot of boons, so. So maybe I might be kind of I might be alone on this hill. I kind of like the instant kill move. I think it's fun. It was a big surprise when I first ran into it. And I felt like it was pretty clear after the first or second time I ran against it what to do. Yes, it might have felt like a little cheap those first 1 or 2 times. And there were moments in the future where it's just like, damn, didn't make it. But I don't know, it feels fun to me. I think there's always that trade, kind of like the whole pause thing. There's that trade between fun and fair that you have to have sometimes. Because sometimes things that are unfair kind of make it a little more fun and surprising and engaging in some way. Oh god, we're slip sliding all over the place because of metallic droplet. I think it's a tough thing to balance. You understood immediately what to do, just a second too late? Yeah. It's not a difficult move to avoid, and it's really... And it's a legitimate question, though, then. If the only time you're realistically going to fall for it is the first time you run against it, is it a good mechanic? Grip Frigid Sprint. Crispy Coating. There's something weird about the name of that boon. Like we're cooking our opponents. And like we're gonna eat them. Do, 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 do. Some of my favorite moments from games are just like these weird surprises, like maybe they killed you, maybe they, you know, like really nerfed you, maybe it turns out there was like a phase 2 or something like that, you know. Some of my favorite moments are that, but sometimes it feels bad. And there's a good question here. This isn't like a Souls game, where if a boss does something unfair, you just run back to the boss in 20 seconds and you get another chance. So I do think there's an argument here that maybe something like an insta-kill move isn't really... This isn't the best place for it. I mean, you got the Death Defiances and everything, but yeah, you don't see that many people complain about the insta-kill move, though, honestly. Not really. Tall Order is nice. I mean, 20% more damage, and we have all the infusions.
A sudden surge.
We'll just do more scorch damage there. Mint Condition is a nice boon, but with only one battle ahead of us, is Heavy Metal just a better choice? I think it is. Okay. Don't need that. Martial Art upgraded a bunch. Haven't really looked at it in a while. Plus 30%? Wow. No knockback? Oh, I'm going to be honest. I always forget about that part of the boon.
I'm home.
You'd be disappointed if they backed down from the Chronos pause thing. There might be some kind of medium they could have here. But yeah, that one is, again, like how important of a feature is it to the game when it's just like a one-time thing? I don't know. I personally like it too, but I acknowledge it. It's not good for something like accessibility. I wonder if magic is going to be a problem here. I'm going to be a little more cautious with it. Oh no! Come on. Woo! 1680. Crispy coating. Kind of missed. Make sure you drop the cast. You can drop the cast while channeling. Very nice. Wow. Already at half, baby. Oh, and he keeps the Scorch on him. That's interesting. Why does it say I'm impervious to damage right now? I don't even know. Oh, right, because of the blast thing. Run! Woo! There you go. I wonder if that's better than Pan. I don't know. I don't know, chat. There you go. That's the torches for you. Let's go over the setup here. Let's go over the setup here that we had, shall we? In case you skipped ahead to the end, which I understand. Big dick damage. So Scorch, like a source of Scorch, source of Freeze, Freezer Burn, boom. Scorch, Freezer Burn. So maybe it wasn't totally necessary. Because this aspect is already really strong. Like when you look at the attack damage here, right? It was already just really high. It did come together like super late too at the same time. So even though it wasn't the highlight of the build, I think it, you know, like it still did surprisingly well. We had Scorch from the very beginning of the run and it didn't do much. And Freezer Burn almost caught up to it. When the hell did we get Freezer Burn? End of Morning Fields or something like that? Middle of Morning Fields? Considering that Freezer Burn almost caught up to it, it's not so bad, right? It's just a really strong aspect as it is, I think. And I think you'll have a good time with it anyway. I think the infusion, too, probably soaked up a lot of it. But yeah, I mean, if you want to have a strong Moros run, I don't think there's really much else to say. Just get an attack and special boon, and you'll probably have a pretty good time, personally. If it's kind of low, I think if you want a simpler build than to go for a duo boon, then you could probably just throw, like, Aphrodite on the attack and explode it, and it'll be fine. It'll be fun. That's what I think. I think that'll be a good time. Alrighty, let's go.